What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and it's about time we take a look at Mega Evolutions. And Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave released in Japan this past Friday. These are the two sets that are going to make up Mega Evolutions 1 in English, which is going to come out September 26th. So I'm going to take a look at this. And for the last couple sets, so for Black and White, for Destined Rivals, Journey Together, and Prismatic Evolutions, we don't have to go back any further. Maybe we can go back, even Surging. The market was very clear with what cards were the chase cards, what cards weren't chase cards, and the pricing kind of settled into relative magnitude. Now, obviously not price level because as time passes, the singles just kind of get smushed down here, especially within the first 2-3 weeks of release. But it was pretty clear what the lead dogs were going to be, what chase cards were going to be in those sets. It looks like what we see with these two sets is the market is extremely confused. And again, we're only 6 days in. This is TCG Player. But for example, you have Lily's Determination. These trainer cards never translate well into English. A card like this, I would be shocked if it ends up being over $50 in English. It's selling for $300 in Japanese right now. Let's see if there are any sales. There's actually 3 sales in this. Art's cool, but it doesn't translate. Now, what I do want to mention is the 2 gold cards, which are the Mega Ultra Rare. It's going to be interesting to see what the pull rates on these are. If it's anything like the Reshiram, the Zekram, and then the Victini, the orange/red, which appears to be 1 in 500-ish. Not great for these. Those at 1 in 500 were good because there were no booster boxes. There were no large concentration pack items because it's specially set. With booster boxes, if these are 1 in 500, you're probably looking at a $150 card, maybe a $200 card. Again, people tend to not like the gold cards. I think these look pretty cool. It almost seems like the Pokemon Company is continuing to innovate and redesign gold cards to they're doing everything they can to make people not dislike them. I don't want to say like them because I'm not sure that that's going to happen anytime soon. But assuming the Mega Ultra Rare is like 1,000, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,200, even 1 in 8 or 1 in 900, these cards are probably going to be $300, $250 to $350, I would say, in English. But then we start to look at the rest of these, and I just pulled the special art rares because the rest of the cards for now, it's just going to be gravy. So you have the Mega Gardevoir, which it's really cool art. The color scheme's pretty cool. A lot of the Gardevoir cards that we've had recently have a lot of heavy greens and heavy blues, and this is a little bit of a I don't know, a more girly picture, if you will. $200. Mega Lucario 128, Mega Venusaur 94, Mega Latias 91, Kangaskhan 59, and then you have some of the other guys at 51, 40, $15 here. This is actually kind of cool. It's almost like comic strip art with the dude lifting weights. And then this trainer 125, there's absolutely no way. So if we look at these cards in the set, there's confusion as to what are the lead cards, because it seems like they're all kind of from the Latias, Gardevoir, Lucario, and Venusaur. These 4 cards all seem like they're going to be somewhere around the $100 to $200 price point in English when they come out. And again, my rule of thumb is English cards generally settle in at about 2 times on average across everything. The Japanese counterpart, that will have some that are 1-to-1, we'll have some that are 3-to-1, but on average, we look at about 2x for a regular set. Um, so if we have 4 cards and they're all between $100 and $200, there's going to be some interesting chase cards in the set. Now, I do have a feeling with this set that the English counterparts of these cards, assuming the pull rates are still equally difficult, um, now we only have, I believe, 10 special art rares. I don't know if it's the same in English. Let's see, 10. I assume it's going to be the same number in English. I don't know for sure because, quite honestly, it's not super relevant to me. Um, if these end up being 1 in 800, 1 in 900, what they've been for the last couple sets, they're going to be 100, 150, 200, $250 cards. But I could see these cards outpacing the 2-to-1 multiplier we've seen, at least, the 4 that I just mentioned. Right here, you could take the trainers and just throw them in the trash because they don't translate into English very well. Some of these guys could be, 30, $40. Um, but if we have these 4 cards, and again, when we get another week or two into this and the prices start to mature and we figure out what's going on, I'll kind of go through the spreadsheet I've done for the last couple sets, which I've actually been pretty darn close in estimating what the market's going to think of the set as after release and after the market starts to normalize. But if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, just call it $700 of value across these 4 sets, and just say these guys are 250 and 250, which they probably are. You're basically looking at an expected value on par with Surging Sparks, plus all the rest of the cards in the set. So, if we get rid of all the rarities here, and the price high to low, you can't really go by because a lot of the cards don't quite have prices yet. You have these super rares, which the art cards are really cool. It remains to be seen. Are these going to be $2 cards, $5 cards, $15 cards? The art rares. The Alakazam is actually pretty cool art as well. In reality, it probably looks like we're somewhere around where Surging Sparks was at release, which is I think it was $1,400 to $1,500, maybe a little bit higher. Supporting a booster box price of somewhere around $250. So, I don't think it's going to be the banger that Destined Rivals was, but I certainly don't think it's going to be, a standard base set where everybody's like, this is garbage. So, it remains to be seen as the market matures here a couple weeks post release, what direction do people start leaning into? Because, it looks like there's a bunch of money betting on the Gardevoir, then the Lucario, then the Venusaur, then the Latias. And look, again, maybe they're all $250 cards in English, which would be, super interesting. But, there's certainly depth in the set. It's going to come down to where the prices settle and what do the chase cards look like. So anyway, just want to do a quick video on this because I knew pricing was up. I took a look, and as I mentioned, the previous sets all had clear winners, clear chase cards. If it's the 2 gold cards, which aren't showing up now because there's no market pricing, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because generally people don't like them. If it's these 4 cards, we'll see where they translate. So again, we'll wait another week or two. I'll put out a video on where I think the booster boxes are going to settle, but I don't see any reason to believe that the value of the cards in the set aren't going to support at least a $250 box price. And given the current market and where the pre-selling is between $230 and $270, that's probably the world we're living in. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. I think I have 16 sub slots left until we're full. For Pokemon, for Mega, what I want to try to do Premium gets a case guaranteed. That's full. But with the Elite tier, which it's $50 a month, 1.5, a booster box, 2 ETBs, a couple booster bundles, and it'll be pretty significantly below market because that's kind of how I roll the sales out. So, in addition, we do have Final Fantasy Commander decks on the website. It's open. Don't have to be a sub. It's just anontcg.com. I have them listed at $185 shipped. That is double boxed. We got a ton of them. We're just trying to move through them, churn some spend. If we could help some folks out with some cheap boxes in the meantime, have at it. So, anyway, guys, have a great night.